in a previous interview, you talked about struggling throughout the season. So what changed and how are you able to turn the page so that the end of the season went a lot better?
At the beginning of the 2024 season, Lexie Hull seemed to be fading into the background. Selected 6th overall in the 2022 WNBA draft, the former Stanford star and national champion was struggling to establish herself with the Indiana Fever under head coach Christy Sides.
So you have basketball in your genes. Your grandfather played basketball, your dad, and you have a twin sister who you played basketball with growing up. What was it like growing up in that family dynamic?
Well, we have a super competitive family, and having my dad play basketball collegiately, knew that basketball was going to be put in my hands at an early age, but my parents were, super excited about having us try every sport imaginable. So yeah, we grew up, my sister and I, playing a little bit of everything.
Once viewed as a key piece of the franchise's future, Hull found herself spending more time watching from the bench while others earned the opportunity she had hoped for, leaving many fans wondering if she would ever fulfill her early promise. Everything began to change when Caitlin Clark arrived. The rookie
to get to know her off the court, because I do think that, connections, getting to know people really play a part in the success of teams.
Sensation brought more than her electrifying style of play to Indiana. She transformed the team's offense, elevated the energy around the organization, and created a ripple effect that impacted every player on the roster, including Lexie Hull. In a recent interview with She's for Sports and the Dunker Spot, Lexie Hull opened up about what really happened behind the scenes. How did Caitlin
called the clutch player by WNBA fans, and she was drafted to the W in 2022 with the Indiana Fever in the first round as the 6th pick. I'm talking about professional basketball player Lexie.
Clark's leadership helped reshape her career. And what does Hull's story reveal about the Indiana Fever's remarkable rise? It's a story of perseverance, teamwork, and one of the most inspiring turnarounds in the WNBA. Known by many fans.
Beginning of the season, my playing time definitely looked different than it did at the end. So trusting that, I was staying ready, putting in the work so that when I did get the minutes out on the court, that I could take full advantage of them. So I was just really proud of myself for trusting the process. And
as a clutch performer, Hull entered the league in 2022 as the 6th overall pick of the Indiana Fever, but her path to success would prove far from easy. The 2024 campaign got off to a difficult start for Hull.
Well, part of the transition is really tough. Everybody out on the court was one of the best players on their college teams, definitely the best player likely from their high school team. So it's just this mishmash of the best basketball players, and then you're playing against people that have been there.
Despite her decorated college career and championship pedigree at Stanford, she found herself buried in the rotation just 2 years into her professional journey, watching players ahead of her receive valuable minutes while she waited for her opportunity, believing in the process was far more difficult than it sounded. Hull had to adjust.
We're just sick that we had lost so many games, and also feeling like we were better.
Just from being one of the stars at every level she had played to competing among elite athletes in the WNBA. Every player on the floor had once been the best on their high school and college teams, making the competition relentless. At the same
getting to the open spots, and we have such a good offense that people find the open person. So to be that open person, you get excited. You get excited for the opportunity to shoot and score and be part of the
time. The Fever stumbled out of the gate with a disappointing 1-8 record, creating frustration throughout the organization and increasing the pressure on everyone involved. Questions about coaching.
Like playing off of Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and Aaliyah Boston.
I mean, they make my job really easy, right? It's awesome, and it's really cool to see all of them just grow, not only from this year, but playing 3 years with Kelsey, 2 years with Aaliyah.
Decisions, defensive struggles, lineup choices, and team chemistry quickly became major talking points, forcing players to battle through criticism while trying to stay focused on improving. Rather than becoming discouraged, Hull dedicated herself to improving her game. She worked on her movement without the ball, sharpened her shooting, and prepared herself for the moment an opportunity finally arrived, while drawing motivation from the support of her teammates.
I think it's really fun because they garner so much attention, obviously, from the other team's defense. So then it allows the other players, me included, to make cuts, make reads, and they're really good at finding, those openings and giving the ball up when it's needed and finding the better shot. So it's really fun, and I feel really lucky to get to.
Then came Caitlin Clark. Her arrival sent a wave of excitement through the entire franchise. Known for her incredible range, elite vision, and fierce competitive spirit, Clark stepped into a team desperately searching for momentum. Almost immediately,
I definitely got passes and tried to finish when I wasn't expecting to get the ball. So like now it's like, okay, every cut I have, every cut I make, every fast break I run, like I have a real opportunity to get the ball, which definitely like took me a second. And I think it really just took one of those to really get my head around like, oh, she's all the way down at the other end of the floor and she could still make the pass to me down at the block at this end. So, I mean, it's been...
The atmosphere changed. Fans packed arenas, ticket demand surged, and practices took on a completely different level of intensity. Hull described how Clark's competitiveness showed up every day, even during practice.
So fun to be able to know that you're not just cutting to cut, knowing that you're cutting with the possibility of like actually making a really cool play. So that makes it that much more worthwhile.
Whether it was a drill or a scrimmage, Clark pushed everyone around her to compete at a higher level, and that mentality carried directly into games where her anticipation and playmaking constantly kept defenses off balance. Clark's ability to read the floor and thread passes into seemingly impossible spaces completely changed the Fever's offense. Players like Hull
sees the game at a bigger scale, obviously with the platform that she's created for herself, and then that's transitioned to the game. It's huge. And I think like for me, especially as a point guard and as someone that's delivering a lot of the passes that lead to shots, like if I miss, she's definitely going to say like, you got the next one. Like I can count on her for keeping me like confident and positive. So yeah, I think that shows the player that she is and the leader she is as a point guard.
Suddenly found themselves receiving opportunities in areas where they had rarely been open before. As Clark attracted defensive attention, the entire team benefited from cleaner looks and more efficient scoring opportunities. Her influence extended beyond statistics.
It's really awesome to get to know her as well because, you know, she's a great person, but you have all these expectations put on her and our team has put on her and fans have put on her. So to see her kind of be so mature in that transition, it's been really awesome. And I'm just really proud to, you know, have her on the team. And
relentless competitive drive inspired teammates to raise their standards and believe they could challenge any opponent. According to Hull, Clark's maturity and leadership quickly earned the respect of the locker room and helped establish a stronger culture throughout the team.
As the making year, what was that like for you to be a part of that?
I'm really grateful for the opportunity to not only play in the WNBA, but to be on a team like the Indiana Fever. I've seen so much growth, not only on the team side, how we're performing on the court, but also the growth in fans. I mean, on the road, it felt like home games. We're playing in sold out arenas that we have not played in the last 2 years before that. So, I mean, it's just really...
The Fever continued to develop chemistry. Their offense evolved into a far more dynamic and connected unit. Players were no longer simply running through actions. They genuinely believed every cut and movement could lead to an impactful play. Clark wasn't just contributing as a talented rookie, she was changing the identity of the team. The question was whether that influence would ultimately translate into wins.
It's down to trusting the process, and part of that process is making sure that
If you've enjoyed the story so far, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your support means a lot. And now it's time to get back to the action. The Fever's transformation from struggling team to playoff contender didn't happen overnight.
One thing that our coaches did during that break, I mean, we had a full month of practice pretty much during the Olympic break, and they would put up every day after practice our shooting percentages from 2s and 3s during drills, during scrimmages, during everything. And I think that helped me because some people were probably like, it's so annoying, whatever, but
Much of the progress was built behind closed doors during intense practices. Hull described highly competitive scrimmages where Clark constantly challenged teammates to improve. Coaches began noticing a tougher, more resilient group, and those demanding practice sessions helped forge a new identity for the team. For Hull, the turnaround was deeply personal. She committed herself to trusting the process, focusing on consistent work, and improving every day. During the Olympic break, the Fever spent an extended period practicing together, and Hull used that time to build confidence as her shooting percentages steadily improved.
I don't lie, unfortunately, and they're very drastic. My first 2 years, I was just so upset because I was putting in so much work, and my shooting percentages, I would granted get like 1 or 2 at the max, 3s a game. So it's hard to be super efficient when you pressure is really on for those couple shots. But the numbers don't lie. So it really allows you to look at improvements and really shoot for goals and keep yourself.
By the second half of the season, Hull had evolved from a reserve player into an important part of Indiana's offense. Clark's presence played a major role in that growth, as the attention she commanded opened lanes and opportunities for teammates. Hull's confidence increased, her shooting became more reliable, and her impact in critical moments began helping the Fever build momentum. As Indiana started stacking wins, the strength of the team's chemistry became impossible to ignore.
All of these people were supporting me this whole time, and I didn't know that they were supporting me until that moment. So like, you kind of forget that there's these people behind the scenes until they come out of the woodwork and say like, I've been following along this whole time. Like, I'm so proud of you. And that just feels so good to know that there's, such a community behind everybody on our team, even when you don't hear it every.
Hull emphasized that the group never fractured during difficult stretches, and that unity helped them overcome adversity.
Fans responded.
You and Erica Wheeler started swapping outfits, so where did that idea come from?
Our styles are so drastically different. So we were just joking, like, I wonder what it would look like if you could pull it off. And the first outfit was something so outside of what I would have ever picked out of my closet. And I was like, that's not going to look good on me. I'm like, all right, let's try. So then I tried it on and everyone was like, you pull it off, you pull it off. So then it just became part of the pregame tradition. And it's a really fun, lighthearted way to just, get us in the mood to play.
By filling arenas, creating an electric atmosphere, and supporting the Fever in ways the franchise had not experienced in years, what began as a comeback story soon became something much larger.
Through the grocery store in Indianapolis and trying to just go get some groceries and someone fist bumps me and says, go Fever. That's just a really cool environment, and it shows, the dedication of the fans and the fandom in the city. So that part's been.
With Clark emerging as a leader and Hull flourishing in her role, the Fever weren't simply chasing a playoff berth.
They were working to redefine expectations for the entire organization.
The next challenge was determining how far that momentum could carry them. The Fever's rise affected players beyond basketball.
For Lexie Hull, the team's growing popularity introduced a completely new reality.
It's pretty obvious. We have people filling the stands. We have people cheering. We have people so excited for the individual success of the teams, but also the league as well as players. So there's so many more.
Everyday activities became public experiences as fans increasingly recognized players and showed support wherever they went. At the same time, greater visibility brought new pressures. Packed arenas.
Hard. It's easy to say, yeah, don't read it, but everybody does a little bit, and I think it's having that support system to help keep you on.
Constant attention and intense online discussion created challenges that accompanied the excitement of becoming one of the league's most talked about teams. Social media became one of the biggest adjustments.
People to kind of get you out of that cycle and get you to thinking about the positive things you did, even though a lot of times people online aren't talking about.
Stop feedback from fans could be encouraging at times, but it could also feel overwhelming, creating a unique challenge for players trying to stay focused on their performance. Even with strong support systems in place, the emotional demands of increased attention were very real.
People are talking about the WNBA, people are tuning in to our games. That's what we want to hear, and that's only going to get us farther as we go.
Hull spoke about moments of doubt after difficult games, but she also emphasized how teammates supported one another and helped keep the group grounded throughout the season. Inside the locker room, the focus remained on development, trust, and togetherness rather than outside criticism. That supportive environment allowed players to embrace the spotlight while staying true to who they were, making the season about much more than basketball alone. Indiana's season became one of the league's most compelling stories. From an uneven start to becoming one of the WNBA's most discussed teams, the Fever demonstrated how resilience and teamwork can change a season. Hull's growth reflected the rewards of patience and preparation, while Clark's leadership provided the spark that helped elevate everyone around her.
I think it's moving in a good direction. I think that it's because it's more competitive and there's more eyes on it. The pool of coaches that we can choose from, I think, will only get bigger and bigger. I think we're going to have great coaches coming up, and just excited to see, what those eras look like. It's unpredictable at this point, but excited to talk about it in a year from now.
The Fever's resurgence represented more than victories and standings. It reflected a renewed franchise identity built on accountability, trust, fan support, and a belief in something larger than individual success. The organization had laid the foundation for sustained growth moving forward. Looking ahead, the future appears incredibly bright for Indiana.
With Caitlin Clark leading the way, Lexie Hull continuing to develop, and stars like Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell anchoring the roster, the Fever possess the talent and momentum to become one of the league's premier teams. They have already proven they can overcome adversity. Now the challenge is taking the next step and establishing themselves among the WNBA's elite. What do you think the Fever can accomplish next season? Let us know in the comments, subscribe for more content, and we'll see you in the next video.